Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another quick workshop update for you today. So obviously, as you saw in one of my last videos, I've done a little bit of an upgrade in here. I've got some tools up on the wall which I've been meaning to do for a long time, and last weekend I had a little bit more of a play around, and I thought really what I'd do is just give you a quick tour around this workshop, just so you can see what I've got here, and I'll do that now. So what we have, starting on this side, which you've kind of already seen, so we've got just my cleaning implements and a random hacksaw that I just threw up on the wall there. I've got my little LED lights up there. I've got my saws, I've got my draw knives, brace, etc, etc, all just in nice and easy reach. And these are sort of, apart from the brace, these are sort of tools that I use very often. I've got my carving stump down here, and there's actually space around it for a change, which is quite nice, and I deliberately wanted to do that. Just down here by the door, I've also got my little box of offcuts and some random bits of wood. I mean, most of that's pretty well seasoned, but it's kind of there in case I want to make a wedge or a chock or something like that. Now, what I didn't show you before was the other side of the workshop over here. I'm struggling to get this all in shot, so I'll do it piece by piece. So I've got my random little wood pile there, some bits of oak that I've had for quite a while, a little bit of birch and some other bits and pieces. I have this, which is an old sort of cupboard pedestal thing from an office I used to work at many years ago. It was in storage, it was just sort of sitting there doing nothing, and actually I've managed to repurpose my vise here, so I've now got a nice stable, well, I say stable, I may have to get a bag of sand to put in the bottom of this, but I've got somewhere I can actually have my vise more like a workbench, and inside this little cupboard is where I'm keeping all of my green wood. So not only is it being kept sort of slightly moist by being in a plastic bag, but it's also shut up in this cupboard as well, which is really, really useful. I've got my little sort of workbench clampy thing there. Just behind, actually, you can see this. Now, I picked this up from, where did I buy it from? Homebase, a couple of weekends ago. Something like £8.49. Little sawhorse with folding legs. I thought, you know what, for the price, I'm going to grab one because it just seems like something I'd probably end up using. Got my little tool bag down here, which is where I keep all of my kind of expensive tools, so they come back in the house with me. And funnily enough, I don't think I've ever shown you this on video before. This is my original carving stump, and I've had this for close on to 10 years now. Actually lived in the loft of an old flat I used to live in. We were on the top floor, so we had loft space, and that's where I started off doing a lot of my carving. Now, what I've got here, and you've probably seen this in the background in a lot of my videos, this is a little stake anvil. Now, I bought this when I originally wanted to start doing a little bit of small scale forging. Haven't got round to it yet. Am planning on doing some hopefully in the near future, well, at least in the future, let's say that for now. So it's just kind of a little dumping ground for odds and sods at the moment. And then the last thing I've done is I got some really, really cheap planter pots. Again, I think it was from Homebase, it may have been B&Q, and I've just attached them into the wall with some raw plugs and screws. So I've got one that has my drill bits and a box of little chewy snack things. This one's got all of my sharpening gear in it, just so it's nice and close to hand. I haven't got to go rooting around for it. And this one has just got random odds and sods. So I've got a bit WD-40, some chain lube, so on and so forth. So that is currently, let me just get this camera set back up for you guys. That probably looks about right. Let's see if you can see me. That's fine. So that's basically my workshop at the moment. I like to think that I've kind of streamlined it a bit. I've now got things within easy reach that I can get hold of whenever I need to. And it's all the things that I use quite regularly. Behind my lovely green curtain, which I realise you guys have never seen behind, I've got a couple of little storage bits and stuff in there. And usually when I'm doing a video, I will kind of, every time I sort of cut the scene, I'll be nipping behind this curtain, rooting through drawers and boxes, trying to find things, and I was just getting fed up of it. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my life a little bit easier, which is hopefully what it will do. And yes, that's it. So that's the workshop update, guys. Just thought I'd give you a quick look round now that I'm kind of finished for the time being, unless I have any other bright ideas. But I hope it was useful, guys. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks, guys.